What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more William Shatner. We're going to continue with his 2004 album, Has Been. But before we get to that, I'd like to wish a major happy birthday to Han Solo, longtime friend and one of the very first people to start sharing albums and music with me. Indeed, I think he was literally the second person to make a drive available, and has been an amusing commentator, a knowledgeable contributor, and a talented musician in his own right. More on that later in this same batch. But yes, I really do appreciate all the things you've brought to my channel and to my musical life, and I wish you the very happiest of birthdays, which technically was yesterday, but I hope that these one-day belated reactions, which I'm going to do in this batch, are enjoyable. But yes, we're continuing with Has Been from Mr. Shatner, and the next tune, make sure I have this right, It Hasn't Happened Yet. So yeah, I'm aware this album was made in conjunction with Ben Folds, and indeed some folks like Stewart and others commented on Ben Folds and how he came to prominence in the 90s with, what was it called, like not the Ben Folds Band, it was like Ben Folds 5 or something like that. So yeah, he not only has his own catalog, but he has obviously produced other people's material. There is also a credit given on this one, and it's a very odd credit. It's for like something goddess, and it says Fleming McWilliams. I've been checking on Discogs on the master release, and yeah, this track gives a credit to Fleming McWilliams, though not for a particular instrument or writing or anything that I could discern what it meant, so I don't quite know whether to expect a female voice. I mean, Fleming sounds more like a guy's name to me, but it was the credit as it was listed was something like goddess. So yeah, I don't know what to expect, but the title phrase, and again, has been, maybe it speaks to the other side of that. It never was, so to speak. The idea of wanting fame or wanting to make a significant artistic creation, but not being able to do it yet. And I guess yet, the use of that word does hold out hope, or at least suggest that the narrator, the speaker, is still looking forward and still suggesting it could happen, or indeed may happen, will happen, because otherwise you'd say it never happened, past tense. So even though the phrase, as I see it, and of course it might not have anything to do with this, but given the title of the album and the title track, I'm thinking maybe this again relates to making it in a given industry, music I'm thinking specifically, but also acting or any other artistic endeavor, or indeed any business endeavor or something like that. But also there is a degree of hope, there's a strain of hope that is entailed by that word yet. So let's see what it actually is. This is William Shatner from his album Has Been 2004, and it's called It Hasn't Happened Yet.
I was crossing the snowfields in front of the Capitol building. It was Christmas, and I was alone. Strange city, strangers for friends, and I was broke. As the Carolines sang its song, I dreamt of success. I would be the best. I would make my folks proud. I would be happy. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. Yes, there are nods in my direction. Clap of hands, a knowing smile. But still, I'm scared again. Foot slipped. Pebbles fall, and so did I. Almost. I'm high. On Yosemite. The big gray wall. Fear of falling. Where to put my foot next? Fear of failure. I'm afraid I'm gonna fall. Fear one with the mountain. I whispered in the air. Fear of falling. Fear of failure. Fear of losing my hair. Falling. People come up and say hello. Okay, I can get to the front of the line, but you have to ignore the looks. And yet, I'm waiting for that feeling of contentment, that ease at night when you put your head down and the rhythm's slow to sleep. My head sways and eyes start awake. I'm there, not halfway between sleep and death, but looking into eyes wide open, trying to remember what I might have done, should have done. At my age, I need serenity. I need peace. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened. It hasn't
Given the credit I read, I'm guessing that operatic backing female vocal was Fleming McWilliams. But yeah, it's interesting, like, I commented as we've gone through most of, I think there's still a couple tracks left, but most of Seeking Major Tom, that the music on that album was impressive and more serious than I maybe would have expected after hearing his earliest stuff. But this album, even after only a couple tunes, it feels like maybe the most serious lyrically. Now I get it, like, you know, Seeking Major Tom, like lots of covers, and maybe there's covers here on this album as well. But it feels like there's a bit of psychological introspection happening here, not only with Has Been, but with this tune, which, you know, again, I don't know if this is strictly autobiographical. It could, of course, speak to people who are involved in creative endeavors or who are trying to accomplish something like climbing in Yosemite, what have you, who haven't gotten to the level they always dreamed of or they wanted or they think they're capable of. And there's this sense of like, yeah, okay, sometimes people recognize me. Maybe in some places I'm a welcome guest. I'm let to the front of the line. But I don't have that full contentment when I put my head down to sleep at night. I haven't made it in the way that I hoped. And that section after I think the first verse and chorus where it was very like psychological stream of consciousness, you know, comments that were more forward-looking and optimistic, but those that were self-critical and worried and the fear of falling, the fear of failing. And it was, again, almost like we were in his head, the whispers in his head. I did think there was another whispered voice that was maybe not Shatner. So I don't know if there was like a third vocal on this or whether that was just Shatner affecting a slightly different voice in whispered form, or maybe even this Fleming McWilliams, though again, I think she was the backing operatic vocal. But yeah, I feel like it was actually a very profound song in terms of what you can expect from yourself, what should give you a sense of contentment, whether you need to keep striving, and whether there's some balance in all that. Like, you can appreciate what you have done, maybe it's not what you envisioned, and maybe you can still hold out hope for reaching that higher plane like you envisioned, but without dismissing or feeling like you failed. And I think there's even a line here where he's like, where's the line where I can say that I failed? Like, you know, what constitutes failure versus success versus a mixed bag in that regard. So yeah, I think the lyrics are actually quite profound, and it feels, again, like knowing Shatner, who I would say by anyone's stretch had a pretty successful career, and you know, he's still around. I commented, I think in the previous Shatner reaction, my uncle like saw him randomly in LA and took a picture with him, so he still clearly does get approached by fans and people who know who he is and recognize his significance and so on. But yes, I feel like hearing Shatner sing this song, or sing, it's more of a spoken song, but yeah, there's a profound character to the lyrics coming from him specifically. I love the light jazz feel. It kind of has like a live improvised jazz in a club kind of feel, where it kind of stops and starts, and the rhythms change and suddenly there's a piano line coming in. Like it felt almost like spoken word jazz poetry with trains. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I'm guessing this whole album is going to be a treat because there's a meta reality here. It's not just him being silly. It's not just him with some good music behind him, doing a cover or whatever. But it feels like we're getting more of the unadulterated Shatner psychology, Shatnerian psychology. So yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. Shout out to Shatner and Folds. Once again, very happy birthday to you, Mr. Solo, and to others who have been enjoying this journey, which is a product of Mr. Solo sharing his material with me. So let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.